Let's move on then to this. The eThekwini Municipality has warned that the restoration of water supply to communities around Durban will be delayed. A city official has reportedly been prevented from entering a reservoir in Chatsworth, where he was meant to close valves to allow the system to fill up. As a result, this reservoir has now insufficient water to supply to a number of communities. Newzroom Afrika's Silethiwe Ndlovu is in Chatsworth and joins us now live for more. Give us the latest, Silethiwe, if you will.
Good afternoon, Vuyo. So from a statement that was released by the municipality yesterday, it seems as if the city's water distribution officer was actually not only prevented from entering the reservoir, but it seems as if he was also threatened. And we understand that this has now resulted in a number of communities around that area not having any water. We're told that this could possibly go on for a while before it's actually resolved. We're told by the municipality that this is, of course, something that had been communicated. This is regarding the water rationing system. The community members that we spoke to earlier on regarding what actually transpired yesterday, Vuyo, they claim that the conflict that actually transpired yesterday stems from the fact that there's no communication that comes from the municipality regarding when there's going to be water available in their taps. We're told that the lack of a scheduling plan coming from the municipality has resulted in a domino effect where you're looking at a number of schools around that area not having enough water, therefore having to send some learners home. We're told that a number of elderly people also around that area actually have to collect water at quite a bit of a distance. Laundry also hasn't been done for a number of days. We understand that the last time they had water was actually on Friday. But the community members claim that there's a firearm that was actually drawn yesterday, which is why then there was that conflict that was reported. In terms of the domino effect of Vuyo, there's a number of, there's an impact when you're looking at what transpired yesterday. I know that we had a conversation earlier on with some of the community members. Let's have a listen to what they had to say to us earlier on.
There's always different excuses at every day. Sometimes the pump is either not working, the reservoir is running dry, or there is a problem with the power failure. There is always different excuses at all the time that they're giving us. We don't even know if there's a maintenance plan they do ever have. So we need to know whether they have a maintenance plan, or is there somebody that's basically notify us. We don't even get a tanker. Even if this water is switched off, we don't even get a tanker. There's no tankers at all.
They claim, Vuyo, that firstly, there is no water tankers that actually come into that particular area in Chatsworth, which unfortunately has seen a number of them not being able to actually go to work over the past few days. Obviously, a number of schools also being disrupted due to the fact that, one, there's no water, two, there's no alternative that is provided by the municipality. They state that if the municipality could at least provide a scheduling plan that outlines when the water is going to be available and when the water is not going to be available, that would at least be acceptable, rather, especially because they would be able to plan their daily routines. We also had a conversation, rather, with another community member that spoke to us about the impact of water not being available in that area. Let's have a listen to what they had to say to us.
I saw my mother yesterday. She's carrying 5 liters from the bottom there, and she's coming up. I took the water from her and I brought it and came home. You know what? It's like hurting. And I see my wife there suffering and washing clothes outside. And no, she got no water. And there's so much clothes. I got like 12 people in my house. And that is not fair. Every day it's happening to us. We got toilet facilities. We got, you know what I'm saying, hygiene. We need to have a bath. Every day, our Indians, we know, we have 3 times, 2 times a bath.
So it seems as if there's issues in terms of the water rationing system that is available at Chatsworth, which has then resulted in a number of communities around that area not having any water or having a delay in terms of the restoration of water. We're told by the municipality that there's a number of communities that have been affected. You're looking at Morton, Montford, Woodhurst and Crossmoor and other communities. The municipality has also gone to advise people or remind people that they shouldn't interfere with any infrastructure that does belong to the municipality. We did, Vuyo, also hear that a number of community members have also started to trespass, and we understand that they trespass in that particular reservoir. This is now Reservoir 4 in Chatsworth, to actually try and switch the water back on. So it just speaks to the desperation then of that community. But from the statement that has been released by the municipality, it seems as if that conflict that transpired between the city's water distribution officer and the community yesterday has now resulted in a number of communities around Durban having a delay in terms of water restoration. And at this point, it's not really clear, Vuyo, when the water will be restored.
Just a quick one, Silethiwe, before I let you go. I mean, clearly there are issues here. I mean, the community is indeed aggrieved. There's no doubt about that. But have you been able to understand why they would prevent a city official from entering the Chatsworth reservoir if indeed the aim was to close the valve to allow the system to fill up?
So that's actually the first question that we asked. If you don't have any water, why prevent the city's water distribution officer from actually trying to assist? The response, Vuyo, that we got yesterday from them was that they were not trying to prevent the officer from entering the reservoir, and this is now Reservoir 4. They claimed that they were trying to get answers. Again, talking about the built-up frustration and built-up anger of not having water for days on end. So they claim that they have been trying to call the municipality. They have been trying to get communication from the municipality, but unfortunately the number that they have to dial, no one seems to be responding. So when they saw the officer yesterday, they tried to pose those questions in terms of why don't we have a scheduling plan? When is the water going to be available? When is the water not going to be available? So it seems as if from the conversation that we had just this morning with them, they claim that they were not preventing the officer from entering Reservoir 4, but they were trying to ask questions in terms of what is going on with the water rationing system that they have in Chatsworth. And as I mentioned earlier on, one of the biggest issues that they have is that it seems as if there's no communication that comes from the municipality regarding when the water is going to be available and when the water is not going to be available, thus leading to the conflict that we saw yesterday. So it seems as if they were not preventing the officer, but they did claim that they were just trying to ask questions in terms of what is going on with the water rationing system.
Silethiwe Ndlovu, thank you very much for that update. Silethiwe Ndlovu, keeping an eye on that situation. They're very frustrated residents, but hopefully, of course, their issues will be resolved.